Okay, we're going over the throw Ko-Uchi-Gari. This is an inside trip. We're going to be putting out a big series of techniques over this, going to be covering several different entries. So we're going to kind of put all of those out individually, and then we'll make them all into one concise video here as well. All right. First entry is going to be from a clinch. Okay, so we're going to start from an over-under clinch. Now when I'm over-under clinching, I want to have my fingers extended, right? Not just like this. This can get you put in like a shoulder wrench, Americana type position. Same thing with here. So I'm gonna have here, and I'm kind of flaring my elbow out a little bit. Okay, so when we have this clinch, a lot of times his foot will already be forward, and then I can just kind of put weight over that. Like I raise my arm up, and then I can hook, and he will go down here. From there, we're going into the knee slide pass, and just doing that pass with the takedown every time that we're doing the takedown in this series, okay? So here, what if this leg is back? Well, then I can just pull to draw him, okay? So that leg is back, and I'm here. Like, and you'll see this too. Jiu-jitsu people stand a lot of times with their feet square, stand with your feet square, and then they bend over at the hips like this. It's weird, right? If this is the case, like here I have more of a front stance, here, boom. Now look, I'm not technically sweeping his foot. Like this would be a sweep, right? What I'm doing is coming here and driving through, right? Our knees don't work so well laterally, okay? So here, I want this foot forward, and then I'm coming into the pass, right? As a follow-up, I really enjoy going to this arm ride position because it opens up north-south Kimura, arm locks, things of that nature. Okay, so from the clinch, we want to be attacking this leg. Sometimes it's forward, have it forward. If that's the case, we put weight on it, we take it out. Boom. If it's not forward, we draw it forward. Here, boom, and we pass. Okay, so Ko-Uchi-Gari, knee slide pass from the over-under clinch. Okay, our second clinch option to get into Ko-Uchi-Gari, this inside trip, okay? So we saw the over-under clinch. What we're gonna do is we're gonna raise our elbow, like when we frame, we flare our elbow out, right? So I have my fingers up, I go to the side, I have a C-grip on his tricep, and I grab his hip bone here, okay? Now, head's inside, this leg's just behind, okay? So what I want to do here is I've got weight down on him, but I'm gonna relax as I go inside, okay? Here. Now look how weight is on this foot here. I use separate hip throws and all kinds of things. We're doing this inside trip, this Ko-Uchi-Gari, okay? So from here, we're going down with it into the knee slide pass, okay? Now, I'm, again, targeting this leg. When I come in from here, boom. I've got everything tight. I'm holding this hip bone here, pulling it in, got a tricep grip, and then I relax as I go in. That puts weight here, and I trip. One more time. Go to the side clinch. Okay? Now I'm relieving a little bit of the pressure so my shoulder can come through here. Weight goes there. Okay, so again. Okay, so the plane that we're taking the person down on with this throw is this like 45-degree angle. Right, so if we're here, I come into the side and I hook. It's like this x-axis from where we started fighting. Right? So that's a second clinch option. First one's over under clinch. Second one, side clinch. Different application on the underhook, right? With the underhook on our first two ideas. Over under clinch, I draw you forward, or side clinch, I step in front, right? Okay, another clinch option to get into the Ko-Uchi-Gari. So let's look here. This is underhook one, right? Just my hands are up. I'm conscious that he may try and wrench a whizzer and put some pressure on me, and this is way better off than here. Okay, then we can go to the side clinch where we're underhooking and we're grabbing his hip bone. Then there's this third way of underhooking where we go over the shoulder. Okay, this can kind of wrench your arm, right, a little bit, and like we even get into this in striking where we are more controlling the arm. Works in jiu-jitsu as well, right? But here, I'm coming up over the shoulder, and I'm bending my hand like this. Okay, now I'm not like grabbing. My hand is staying open. Then I come in, right? Again, we're going down this weak plane here, right into the knee slide pass. So every time we do that Ko-Uchi, that inside trip, we're trying to get into the knee slide pass. So here's underhook 3, is I go here and I'm coming over his shoulder. Okay, so boom, right there. Okay, arm right if you want it. We've got lots of attacks. Okay, so that side clinch, right? We saw side clinch already, previous entry, right? But it's another application on the underhook. So remember, I have 3 kind of underhooks. That one in front, to the side around the hip, to the side over the shoulder. We've seen several different entries. Now we're gonna go back to at the very beginning of the series, we were talking about clinches. Now I'm gonna show some different perspectives on this, right? But this over-under clinch, okay? Now when you're in this over-under clinch, I want my fingers up instead of here or here so I don't get wrenched with like an Americana top shoulder pressure, okay? So, but what will happen, guys, is people take their L grip and put it in the elbow and do a slide by and take your back, okay? So what we want to do is that happens. Micah, go ahead and put your, on this side here on my underhook. So see, now he's counter my underhook. He's got his grip in my elbow, right? Just like this. And it's a good habit to have, is just to do it, if he has an underhook instead of the tricep grip here, this is really good if they have a good underhook to kind of monitor, okay? But people will do that to shove it over. So as Micah shoves my arm over to take my back, I connect to this grip. In judo, there's the throw Ippon Seoinage. So like we call this the Ippon grip, right? So here, now when I do that, I'm bowing, and that puts weight here, and that's gonna get me that throw. Okay, so he tries to do that slide by. He pushes my arm down. I'm gonna go here and connect. I'm gonna come in, and then when I come down, as I'm going down, that's the hard part about some of this stuff. And it's important to talk about the transitional stuff. We talked earlier about how like you'd be taking a jiu-jitsu person down, and while they're getting taken down, they're recovering their guard. That's a thing. When I'm going down, I'm in this grip, and I'm doing this as I'm going down into the underhook. It's like a windshield wiper motion, okay? So as he pushes my arm across, go into this Ippon grip, bow here, and then I windshield wiper it back across so I can get the underhook in the inside position as I'm taking you down. And as I'm taking you down, I'm passing your guard. And as I'm doing that, I'm also doing that other thing. Try not to get stressed out. It's gonna be okay. All right, so one more time, he pushes that across here. Look how that, when I bowed, it made him step and come to me. Boom. And it came out right in that underhook position, right where I want it to be. All right? That's the Ippon grip. We're gonna do one more variation on that Ippon grip, so we'll check back for that. Okay, so another way to get into this Ippon grip, right? I don't like the idea of just like moving my arm across for no reason to here, right? And every technique needs to have context and timing, right? Like, when does it work? Why does it work? Type of a mentality, right? So with this, we're gonna go back to sort of doing a whole bunch of these entries to Ko-Uchi, but the second entry we showed was a clinch. And we talked about going to this side clinch and grabbing the hip bone, okay? So let's turn this way. Here's the thing, when I'm here, I wanna be light feet, but it's because I'm like pulling him down. Think about pulling him down and lifting myself up. We also talked about when we step in front, we like drive into him, okay? So I'm pulling down, but I'm gonna alleviate that
and I'm gonna come in. Look how my shoulder was able to come through. If you're holding on tight still, that shoulder's gonna get left behind. So I'm gonna go into the Ippon grip from the side clinch, okay? So if you were doing it all together, over under, side clinch with good heavy down pressure, then I'm gonna relax, drive in, right? As I drive in, and then as we talked about in the previous video, as I'm passing, as I'm taking him down, I need to unwind my arm like this. Because you'll land here, and he may start trying to take your back. If that's a thing, there is an option to Kimura him. But it's who's gonna be better? The guy that failed his takedown and is getting his back taken, right? Or the guy taking the back. That's literally, it's just kind of like a standoff. And yeah, it was a cool follow-up. I like that and I've used it. But I want to just undo my arm. I am only able to do that today because I've been doing it for over 10, I don't know, it's 15 years maybe. You know, like not quite the whole time I've been training was I exposed to that grip for that takedown. But it definitely became a thing, a big thing, right? And this is, you know, this variation here, this exact version, I learned it at private with Hickson, right? So I'm just relaxing, gotta bring that shoulder through. There. Look, his feet are all crossing. Are you gonna fight or are you just falling down? I saw a person doing that at a concert the other night. They're saying normal and then they'd be like this. I'm like, stop crossing your legs like that. I'm like thinking about, it's like, look, when I do this, oh, your legs. Yeah. You're kind of off balance right now. Yeah. And that's what we're doing. That's why I said sometimes the context, it comes across, this technique as a sweep. And sometimes it comes across as a trip, right? And it just kind of, are you forward? Am I drawing you forward? Are you attacking me coming forward? And I'm timing that. Going to be more sweep, going to be more timing, right? Maybe I'm driving you to the back corner. That's where it's going to be more trip, right? So another option on the Ippon grip from the side clinch. We'll be back with just a few more. Okay, we got one more grip sort of idea. You know, several ways you can set this up. I'm going to show you my favorite one. More of a no-gi centric option, but somebody grabs a collar tie. My number one response is to turn those shoulders, right? So if he's here and chops that collar tie, immediately I'm going here, right? So do that again. Boom. Now look, I'm gonna go into this sort of escort position, Russian tie. You can super grip with it. You can do all sorts of things, right? But I'm heavy there, and I'm gonna step in to our throw, Ko-Uchi-Gari, that we've been working all day, right? So somebody chops at that, boom, here. Now look, as I step in, we're gonna talk about this in the next two videos. Uchi, like we talk about inside position a lot in jiu-jitsu, in fighting. Like the term in fighting, meaning like dirty boxing, right? The inside, you're on the inside, right? Here, this is kind of an uchi-mata. Uchi in Japanese means inside or inner, right? Ko-uchi, right? That's inside, inside trip. So look, if I bump that, it facilitates their dumping more of that weight and taking away more of your balance. But I want weight, this is more the trip entry. I want weight on that leg that I'm gonna trip. So when I'm here, I can just kind of bump that one out of the way. Boom. Now, we talked a lot this series about follow-ups, right? So chop that collar tie, boom, here. When I follow up, a lot of times, let's go a little bit, so we're gonna go here. When I go down, okay, there's an arm bar that you can achieve with your chest. Turn this way. Here. And this is exactly how I like to use this. I'm going down, I'm passing, same formula as all the entries we've gone over. I'm expanding that and opening my chest up like this. All right, you see my knees kind of changing angles. So like, and you know, he's either gonna tap to that, or, what else do you think you might do? Oh, I thought you might do that. Look, if you like self-defense, boom, you hit that little elbow on the way in. Just drop a bow on them. right? So as I go down, I'm here. If he starts retracting that arm, I'm thinking immediately Americana. Immediate. It's just an interplay, that arm lock with the chest or the Americana. And it's all from the knee slide pass, right? So we've seen some different grips. And guys, when I've gone to seminars or I've watched instructionals on knee slide pass, all the grips that we have shown from standing, people, for the most part, will show like, hey, I'm about to do a knee slide pass, I'm in quarter guard, I broke the guard, whatever it is, you're starting guard pass phase. And then you see these grips come up, right? So we're just incorporating them everywhere. Not just the passing phase, guess what? The stand-up phase, get the grips you want, standing up, and take them with you to the ground, right? So we'll get into a couple more combos to set up Ko-Uchi-Gari, and that'll be like the expanse of the album, right? Compilation.